It is about an individual shift in consciousness. It is about an individual decision. It is about crossing a Rubicon, going where one on the individual path has not gone before. As for myself, I would like to fully live before I die. There's a lot of people focusing on the afterlife, and for good reason. Lest we be on the wrong path in life, there could be some afterlife consequences. But I want to fully live before I die. And so it's an individual decision to affirm one's freedom from the false gods of this world and domain. This is not the only world that there is, and this is a planet with a whole lot of interesting, rich history in a lot of various places on this planet. But there's a lot of people that overlook these sacred spaces and what it's really all about. In today's generation, there's more of a focus on Hollywood, bringing them mythologies that have been told thousands of times. But here's a Marvel Comics superhero version of it, so you think nothing really about it anymore, or about there being any truth to these stories that are retold and resold. But often the people forget that ultimately we come from something. That there is a battle of good and evil that's being waged through our collective society at this time. And so there are lines being drawn, there are periods in time that come where there is a deepening of the split of energies between light and dark, certain periods in which people go their own way, and it's far more obvious. There are also people that masquerade and misuse the elemental forces or the spirits, and they don't even know what they're dealing with. The truth is within. This has always been this way. This truth has always been with us. This truth that's always been with us, there's always been a war on that truth, and those that would present that truth, as well as other ideas about the true God of this universe. This is a reality where some spirits or souls may even be in their own kind of Groundhog Day, right? Reliving certain experiences, speaking of the truth and the persecution, or the disciplined life that must go along with speaking of the truth, right? Because it isn't mixed well, really, to be speaking of the truth and then living a different lifestyle that's based on different values. It is here, basically, in this part of Colorado, where I try to tame my own inner beast, right? I'm a human just like the rest of y'all, right? I'm not trying to be here and give a perfectly spiritual speech. Pretty bright day out, actually. And I wonder if that has to do with the deep solar minimum and the Earth's weakening magnetic field. Sunglasses on all the time is the only thing lately that feels right, especially sunglasses more than others, because we're going through major changes. But it's not just the changes to the crops. It's not just the changes to the atmosphere. It's not just the changes to the weather. It's the changes in consciousness. And so, yes, there is this talk about the magnetic field unraveling. What is going on? And how is this going to impact our world? The bigger question is, how are we already being impacted by it? Maybe subtly below the radar without even knowing it. This is where applying some of the things that other people may have taught you or are teaching you online, or things that I made reference to. It's not that any meditation is a complete system. It's being on the process of deprogramming yourself from the beast consciousness. Imagine yourself grounded in this insane asylum. The title of a previous YouTube video. Bringing in the true light. Bringing in the true light into your energy centers. Bringing them together at your root chakra. Strengthening your field, just like the Earth's magnetic field is out there protecting the planet from asteroids and attacks. The field around our body protects us, right? There's something more to know about some of these places where there are magnetic anomalies, like this is believed to be. There's also some other reports about some other sites where there's believed to be some magnetic anomaly. How can we use that other than to sell an interesting gadget or a toy that may pick up on that, although that does sound pretty interesting, a little gadget that'll show me where there's anomalies or not. But where are we then deprogramming for maybe lifetimes of a bondage of belief systems that lead us into bondage, that are with us for lifetimes? Because this is a lifetime where we can access all kinds of information that can set us free. It can set us free from this type of a world. But it's not going to come easy. And it doesn't come overnight. If we are seeing major magnetic field flux changes, and for years I've been talking about this, so have others, what are the larger repercussions for society, for better or for worse, as we see these shiftings of the tides? No disrespect intended to those that study and have channels regarding astrology, but I'm outside that box. I'm outside that box with regards to tapping into channels that are, going to say whether or not someone's going to meet their mate that month because of the positioning of the planets and their particular interpretations, right? But there are deeper connections that we have to the planets, to the stars, even to the sun itself. That's right, even to this ball of light behind me. And this is going to be a subject that I will continue to delve into on this YouTube channel. The connection between light, solar light, and human souls, human evolutions, and this light being so potent, this plasma, that the world powers would stage events that the reactionary humans, problem, reaction, solution, and then you're going to hear this again and again and again. And it's important that the people be exposed to this information and that it not be censored and that it not be held back, even if you don't agree with it, right? Because I make the individual step. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That was my original tagline for Outside the Box TV, right? Only it would take me years to realize how proper of a title that really was. It wasn't about trying to come up with something that was marketing or SEO friendly, but something that was an honest description of something that transcended politics and transcended so many different other boxes. There could be a similarity that I may have with other people that may identify with certain keywords or a box, but none of us are truly that finite, only if we allow ourselves to be. So I would argue here and now that we are alive to awaken the purpose of life, to live before we die, to access those truths that we were destined to access, right? We're not in these genetic spacesuits for nothing. We're actually even visiting some of the specific parks that we visit for a specific reason. You might not even have a belief system that tells you why that is. It's important that people attempt to be tapped into their true self, to know why they believe what they believe, right? And to not be led by other people's belief systems. Imagine yourself grounded in this insane asylum, grounding out that programming, breathing in deeply, pausing for a few moments, getting deeper into tapping into your breath, naturally being able to step back from the monkey mind and center on your breath, and then from there being mindful, being able to observe your reality without reacting to it, visualizing yourself grounding out energies that may have attached themselves to you without you even being aware of it, connecting in with a more divine cosmic force, including the sun itself, right? Understanding its place in the elemental forces. And there's going to be many, many delusionary programs that are out there. The path to the ultimate truth lies within. Why is it that we can find this truth, this saying, in so many ancient texts throughout the world? Could it be that this is a truth that's even within human DNA that keeps being reborn time and time again, saying something that goes absolutely contrary to the dominant religions and belief systems of various cultures around the world. I leave you today with an encouragement that you continue to focus on grounding out the programming and the disinformation that may have affected you. We are affected by energies in this world that are not our own, even thoughts that are not our own. We may not know this, right? And so getting out in nature, connecting with the elemental forces, including the sun, attempting to hit that reset, this is what should be our focus. Not allowing the potential collapse of the Tower of Babel or those that own the ivory towers to affect our reality. To not allow the potential collapse of the archonic realms, if that is to happen in our lifetime, something monumental to where we see our species freed from their influence, right? We have to separate our consciousness from the consciousness of those that are identifying with the collapse of those structures. We should be identifying with freedom. We should be identifying with spirit, which lives on beyond buildings, beyond civilizations, beyond constructs, beyond computers, right? Identifying with something beyond the world of limitation and embarking on a lifetime path of decording from being bound to this world, to where the intentions, the individual shift in consciousness is so aligned with evolving beyond this world that it is possible, that we are capable of even accessing our superpowers on the way there and doing amazing things with those superpowers, with those gifts of sight. Even if somebody may experience some monetary blessing from the spirits, that it be used for the greatest good, to keep the message moving forward, to not allow ourselves to be corrupted by materialism. Right. Look here now. I see a future. I speak from a region that many people one day may flee to. Maybe in the next coming years. But as people focus on collapse of financial markets and institutions per se, elements of civilization, what's most important is that we free ourselves from the collapse of morality that is happening to many of our peers, even those that also may speak of collapse and report on current events. There's more than just preparing for the physical collapse. There's not selling our souls along the way just to get by. And some people, right, have forgotten the connection between us as humans. How ridiculous the sense of competition is that's been instilled within our society, within social media, within the so-called truth movement. What a joke it all is. How easily it is really controlled by them, by the algorithm. The question is, how are we evolving? Not how are machines evolving, or iPads evolving, or YouTube channels evolving with subscriber counts, or Facebook pages, or Instagram pages, or Twitter pages, or Steemit, or DTube, or BTube, and on and on and on. People living in these porno realities on top of it instead of having their own party. I mean, it's just, there is a place, ladies and gentlemen, to have the individual shift in consciousness to opt out from the madness, to take the baby steps. The journey of 1,000 miles begins in a single step. Which one of us has to be perfect in this? None of us. Here I am walking barefoot, by the way, just to connect deeper with this earth as I finish my last statements. But we're always going to be up against those forces that are going to tell us that we're not good enough, no matter how hard we try. Eventually, we got to come full circle and be doing this for the right reasons, for the right spirits. I'm Alex Ansary signing off from somewhere out there